Hi, my name is Manuela Ramirez. I'm 16 years old. I study at Santa Francisca Romero School in Bogota, Colombia. If someone asks you if you believe that a single human could hike the highest Himalayan mountains by himself, surely your answer would be no, that's impossible. Or that a woman became an Olympic field and track champion after suffering polio in her childhood? That's also impossible, you may answer. Well, I have something to tell you. Some people have actually done it. They have beaten the impossible. Let's start with Reinhold Messner. He's an Italian alpinist and the first person who climbed the 14 8,000ers, the 14 mountains that are over 8,000 meters high above sea level. And he did it without any additional oxygen tank, alone, and by not conventional routes. On the other hand, we have Wilma Rudolph. She was the first African American woman who won 3 gold medals in the same Olympic Games, a remarkable achievement since Wilma was a very sick girl who had to overcome infantile paralysis caused by polio and scarlet fever when she was 10 years old. This and many other stories illustrate us how the highest barriers of the impossible are set by our prejudices and fears, and they can be exceeded by our mind, effort, and attitude. The Cambridge University's dictionary defines the word impossible as something that cannot be or be done. For instance, living on Mars or traveling through time. However, it's clear that the meaning of impossible changes over time. A few years, decades, or centuries ago, there were absolutely different ideas for what impossible was. As an illustration, let's consider Jules Verne, the 19th century sci-fi writer who imagined a trip from Earth to the Moon in 1865, more than 100 years before the Apollo 11 spacecraft landed on Moon. This example proves that the human race makes the impossible real with the advance of science and technology. It also can be inferred that what is impossible to us now may not be so in a few years, and what was impossible in the past is available in the future. In other words, the impossible is attached to the historical context it is set in, and the line between what is possible and what isn't is dynamic. And now, let's talk about my country. Colombia is my beloved country. I love its people, the music, the food, and countless more things. However, it's been affected by a painful conflict for more than 60 years. During 6 decades, Colombians have gone through a violent war with scary figures. Almost 6 million victims of forced displacement. More than 200,000 fatal victims, most of them civilians, and countless injured. This and many other horrifying facts are what this war is causing, and for a long period of time it has seemed impossible for us to end this horror. Hopefully all is about to change. If 40 years ago you asked a Colombian if he or she considered the peace is possible, the automatic answer will be no. The answer would have been the same about 10 years ago, but right now we are a few months from signing the peace treaty. Due to the commitment of the government, the army, the political parties, and the guerrillas, it happens to be possible to have peace in our country. However, it surely demands an effort from each of us, an effort that is in our heart and hands. Nevertheless, that event will not happen immediately after signing it. Post-conflict process takes time, and we, as a growing generation, have to participate actively, making sure everything turns out as planned, by being tolerant, respectful, and accepting other differences. With all that, we will be beating Colombians impossible together. This is a call to action. Your country may not have a war, but it sure has other problems that seem impossible to overcome. Or you want to do something, but it seems unachievable. No matter if it's scientific, cultural, or personal. Go ahead and beat any impossible and set new ones. Like the great leader Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it's done.